Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Please may I invite you to take your seats. I can start by introducing myself. My name is Stuart Toe and I'm President of the school. I would like to extend a warm welcome this morning to the Chairman of Governors, all Governors, Chairman of the Foundation, Foundation Trustees, our Vice Presidents and also our patron, Mr Denham Cooks. A warm welcome to our Headmaster, teachers, staff, Old Bromsgrovians, friends of the school, local dignitaries and honoured guests. We are delighted today to have 5 former Bromsgrove headmasters and headmistress with us for this important celebration. Mr Taylor, Mr Edwards, Mrs Pickering, Mr Page and Mrs Deval Reed. I think it says something really quite deep about the school that they still want to come back, and we hope you will too. Most importantly, I want to welcome you, our pupils, and notably those of you in the upper 6th who are coming towards the end of your time here at Bromsgrove School. In an indenture dated June 22nd, 1693, it was enjoined by Sir Thomas Cooks that an annual sermon should be preached in the parish church to trustees, schoolmasters and boys. For those of us able to be present this morning at St John's, it was an absolute privilege to listen to the Sir Thomas Cooks sermon preached this year by the Reverend Phelim O'Hare, Archdeacon Designate for Aston Birmingham. We heard from him that we must seek the deep water and prepare for winter, but please enjoy the summer first. Today, a long-standing governor stands down after 14 years of superb service to the school. Mr David Walters, an old Bromsgrovian, Luptonian, has been an outstanding chair of our FPC, our Finance and Property Committee, due to his expertise as a partner at PwC. Mr Walters is wise, kind, thoughtful and perceptive. He cares deeply about the school and has invested much time and effort in ensuring that we remain in a strong financial position. The governors and the school executive are extremely grateful for his wise counsel, guidance and expert advice on all financial matters over the years. Since he joined the board in 2010, much has happened, including increasing bursaries to 2.3 million, a significant growth in pupil numbers, and over 64 million spent on school facilities. The school are very grateful for all that he has done, and I'm delighted that both he and Kathy are here with us today. Thank you, David. So it would not be unreasonable to ask, what are we commemorating today? Commemoration should have a threefold meaning for us all. First, we celebrate and give thanks for the long history of our school, nearly 500 years. Second, we celebrate the present, the school today, and the many achievements of our pupils, particularly in this last year since we last met. And thirdly, we look forward to the school's exciting future. To young Bromsgrovians, today's commemoration hopefully will mean much. For the upper 6th, your final day should be a day of celebration, we hope, for many of you, having forged friendships here that we hope will last you a lifetime. And Old Bromsgrovians too, an opportunity to revisit old haunts, renew and discover old friendships forged sometimes as long ago as half a century or more. We hope that you will all enjoy this Commemoration Day 2024. I'm in the wrong century. So, please take memories of this day away with you, and we hope you'll cherish them. I now invite the Headmaster, Mr. Punt, to give his review of the year. Thank you.
President, Chairman, Governors, Chairman of the Foundation, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please can I add my welcome to Commemoration 2024. We're delighted to have you here for what is the most important day in the school's calendar. Indeed, as we've heard, when Bromsgrove School was refounded on this site in 1693 by Sir Thomas Cookes, he set out in his foundation deed of the same year what should happen on days such as this. The school was expected to appoint a learned minister to read prayers and preach a sermon in the church at Bromsgrove, as Reverend O'Hare did so well in St John's this morning, for which service the school shall give to the minister so appointed 10 shillings. We've yet to thank Reverend O'Hare for his excellent service with the princely sum of 50 pence. That will come later. And that after the sermon is preached, said Sir Thomas, the said trustees, minister and schoolmaster shall, in such manner as they shall think fit, take their refreshment. I hope it's in the spirit of the foundation deed for everyone to enjoy both refreshment and entertainment this afternoon. So today, in part, we adhere to the wishes of Thomas Cookes from 331 years ago. But we'll also celebrate the many successes of the last 3 terms. Those will include successes of individuals, teams and groups, some of which have been achieved to high acclaim, whilst other successes have occurred more quietly by pupils who've happily worked away out of the limelight. Indeed, it was once said that success is not the key to happiness, rather happiness is the key to success. If you love what you're doing, you'll be successful. I hope the pupils sat here today are able to reflect on the past year and recall activities in the classroom and out which have brought them success and joy. Last summer, the average GCSE grade across all candidates and subjects was a whisker below a grade 7 or an A grade. Just over a half of sixth form results were the equivalent of at least an A grade, and 3/4 were at least a B. 1 in 9 of our leavers last year went to study at prestigious universities overseas, including Columbia, Toronto and McGill, as well as HKU, Madrid and Copenhagen. Over 100 students left us to begin life at a Russell Group university, and as usual, the most popular destinations remain the competitive London colleges of UCL and KCL, with Exeter, Bath and Cardiff also being commonly desired targets. Examined courses are the focus of pupils' day-to-day studies, but that core represents the minimum, not the full extent of their academic endeavours. If you like, the curriculum subjects are the vanilla ice cream basics of an education, there are some strawberry cornettos as well. Just for the avoidance of doubt, other ice cream brands available, possibly even this afternoon. A large range of IB extended essays and extended projects for A-level students have been completed to the very highest of standards, and these help demonstrate the range of students' interests, areas in which they have, through independent research, become something of an expert, and despite any frustrations along the way, have found some success. Topics included a comparative study of the impact of German unification on urban areas, to alternative ways of manufacturing aluminium sulfate and sulfuric acid, from the design of a rear wing and diffuser to maximise drag efficiency on a GT car, to the importance of the golden ratio in Renaissance artwork. This year, the Lower Sixth Lecture Week was reinstated, and this saw pupils travelling to the Globe Theatre, local businesses, participating in architectural and urban tours. There was preparation for medicine, law and psychology university applications, or time to enrich art portfolios. Many universities ran tutorials, and almost 100 other extension lectures and seminars took place. The new core maths programme is running as an extension route for older pupils, and for younger, there's now the higher project qualification. But academic enrichment takes place in so many other ways too. So many, in fact, that what you'll hear in a moment will just be a sprinkling of examples. So following last year's Young Enterprise success, in which the team became national champions, this year's company, Habitax, has developed products to educate children about habitat conservation, with profits donated to the Worcestershire Wildlife Trust. They've received a host of awards for their efforts, including the Best Brand Image Award and, at the county final, awards for creativity and the best use of technology. Pupils hoping to study medicine at university have worked with the life-saving charity Citizen Aid for their Stop the Bleed campaign, and those pupils have since trained members of the public. Other pupils were finalists in the Imperial College Science and Innovation competition. There have been high levels of success in the biology, chemistry, mathematics and physics Olympiads, and the challenge competitions in those subjects for younger year groups too. 2 pupils have been awarded prestigious Arkwright scholarships for aspiring engineers, while 9 teams who competed in the Perse coding competition all achieved distinction or merit, and then 4 pupils achieved the same high results in the Oxford University coding competition. 4 pupils reached the final of the Oxford debating competition, and in the Bromsgrove School research competition, the winning team presented a compelling argument for Journey to the West, a 16th century Chinese novel, being the piece of literature which should be globally translated and distributed. Another pupil, who reached the final of the Northeastern University essay competition, discussed whether the expanding gig economy contributes positively to sustainable economic growth. And there has been so much more besides, so much. Therefore, as has been said, today is a day to commemorate, to celebrate, but also to say thank you. Thank you to the pupils, who are almost always a delight to work with because of their positive, purposeful approach and their willingness to work hard, to take opportunities and to treat others across the community with kindness. Excuse me. But I also want to thank my colleagues, without whom none of this would be possible. Bromsgrove staff work hard to bring the best out of young people in and out of the classroom, to make opportunities and to keep seeking to make things better. So to all the staff, be they teaching or support, a sincere thank you for everything that you do so tirelessly and so cheerfully for the benefit of our pupils. At this time of year, sadly, we say farewell to some colleagues who are leaving us. Miss Lydia Zhu and Mr. Alejandro Osorio Martinez joined the chemistry and Spanish departments in September, and they have made a marvellous contribution in their departments, houses and beyond. They leave us for Shanghai and Surrey respectively, and both will be missed for all that they have done, but also, quite simply, because of the people they are. Thank you to both of them. Mrs. Jackie McCarthy has worked so hard over the last 4 years to support pupils in her role as Head of Curriculum Support. And she's also been a devoted assistant house parent in Elmshurst. Be it in the department or the house, Mrs. McCarthy absolutely cares for young people, and she leaves us for an exciting new leadership position supporting pupils in Malaysia. We thank her for all that she has done here. Mr. David Atkinson has worked hard to share his passion for physics at Bromsgrove since 2015. He has run robotics, helped with Duke of Edinburgh, supervised squash, and been a committed tutor in Houseman. Mr. Atkinson leaves us to teach physics at an international school in Vietnam, and again, we say thank you to him. Mrs. Annika Eaton has taught German both in the senior school and prep schools, having also started her time at Bromsgrove in 2015. She's been a kind, supportive colleague, always quick to volunteer, especially with language exchanges or D&V expeditions. Annika leaves us to teach at an IB school in Munich, where we have no doubt she will be valued as much as she has been here. We will miss all these colleagues and wish them every success and happiness in their new roles and hope they take a little of Bromsgrove School with them on their travels. Drama continues to reach ever higher standards of production and performance, and the senior play West Side Story was nothing short of professional. Those lucky enough to get a seat at one of the 4 sellout performances were richly entertained with superb acting, singing and choreography. Earlier in the Michaelmas term, all drama scholars presented us with diverse and beautifully crafted scenes as part of an evening of performances, a great exercise in sustained creation of character and regional accents in an interesting variety of pieces. At the start of the Lent term, the 4th form house drama competition dominated Cobham Theatre, involving 100 students, 60 of whom were treading the boards for the very first time, so it was remarkable how very strong and polished each performance was. And then there was the evening in March, dedicated to A-level and GCSE performances, which highlighted the range of work studied by both 5th and 6th form students. And then came the senior school house drama, when the theatre was bursting at the seams with supporters for all performers, many of whom who were new to the stage, whilst others were giving their last performances here. A diverse range of pieces made up the programme, from Alan Bennett's Me, I'm Afraid of Virginia Woolf, to the mesmeric Streetcar Named Desire, with a winning performance of an expressionist vision of Kafka's nightmarish comedy, The Trial, a production full of rich and complex choreography that brought both humour and anxiety to the stage. More recently, many of us enjoyed a highly imaginative 4th form play, One Man in His Time, inspired by Shakespeare's 7 Ages of Man. It was an outdoor promenade performance which challenged the audience with both the originality of its staging as well as the complexity of its storytelling. It was good to see such a committed and focused young cast working together so well. So many young people working hard with dedicated staff to produce so many performances of such high quality. We are so fortunate to have these opportunities. However, the school doesn't seek simply to have an impact on young people here. Rather, we aim to make a positive impact on the local community too, through our work with charities, by sharing facilities and working in partnership. A whole host of activities take place under the umbrella of Bromsgrove Service. Through the Duke of Edinburgh Award Scheme, Bromsgrove pupils volunteered for nearly 5,200 hours in the year to March. And an ever-increasing number of teachers are trained through the North Worcestershire Teacher Training Hub, formed in partnership with other local schools. Many parents have kindly said how much they enjoyed reading our impact report, which is still available on the website. But our approach is not new. Rather, it's been part of the Bromsgrove DNA for generations. Genuine partnership, we believe, has mutual benefit. And some families will have heard how much Bromsgrove pupils have enjoyed working with peers, for example, who have profound special needs at Chadsgrove School, or helping a local school which is seeking to set up a combined cadet force. As you'll see, if you watch the gun run at 3 o'clock, the CCF offers a wealth of experiences that would not otherwise be available. The contingent is the 2nd largest in the UK. There have been highly successful camps and activities in the community, and furthermore, I'm told flight simulators and drones will be available to the RAF section from September. The success is due in no small part to the efforts of the staff, who are so committed to the CCF. One of those is Lieutenant Paul Prowse, who joined us mid-pandemic in 2020 as a dedicated teacher of physics, a passionate astronomer, a caring boarding tutor, and indeed a CCF officer. Mr. Prowse, thank you for all that you've brought to Bromsgrove. We'll miss you when you leave us for Stowe School. Mr. Gunny Patel started teaching maths at Bromsgrove in 1986, but left after 12 years, having spent a year in Australia along the way. He then returned for another 5 years in 2019. Mr. Patel has been a kind and skillful teacher of mathematics, a manager of academic data, a dedicated tutor in Houseman Hall, and he's also helped Bromsgrove service, particularly working with local care homes. He's been a kind and friendly colleague, always ready to step in where necessary, and we will miss Mr. Patel as he begins a very well-deserved retirement. Mrs. Anne Hybel joined Bromsgrove in 2006, working first in schoolhouse when it was home to day pupils and boarders. She's since been a resident tutor in Wendron Gordon, where she's also been a house mother, continued her work in school, and she's been part of the Guardian Angels team who cared for boarders in school through the pandemic and more recently through the holidays. Although Mrs. Hybel might be quick to point out an unmade bed or an unfolded shirt, she has also cared tirelessly for her pupils, especially those who are new to Bromsgrove School or in need of a bit of help. Thank you, Mrs. Hybel, for everything you have done so well over the last 18 years. We'll miss you as you begin your retirement. Mrs. Sarah Cronin arrived to teach at Bromsgrove in 1998, a year of mayhem and volatility on the world financial markets. In contrast, Mrs. Cronin has been a thoroughly reliable, talented and hard-working colleague who's supported numerous students of business, be that in BTEC, GCSE, Applied A-Level or A-Level, and she's worked with those students to help them achieve the most they can. When briefly Bromsgrove launched a foundation programme in partnership with LSE, it was Mrs. Cronin who was chosen to help make it happen. If you have Mrs. Cronin as your tutor, you know you'll be in safe hands. Quite reasonably, after 26 years, Mrs. Cronin has chosen to retire from teaching, but we have no doubt she'll be busy taking on new projects. Sarah, sincerely, thank you for everything you have brought to Bromsgrove School. As you will have heard this morning already, and there is more to come, music is a big part of life at Bromsgrove. Music of all kinds, performed by individuals and performed by groups, demonstrating both success and joy. For example, one pupil led the English Symphony Orchestra recently with Julian Lloyd Webber conducting. 3 others were all awarded their ARSM diplomas, and some competed in the Bromsgrove International Young Musicians platform. The chapel choir, as many of us heard, sang Evensong beautifully at Pershore Abbey recently, and some of us enjoyed a stunning Leavers concert on Thursday. Participation in music through houses remains strong, with the ever-popular house song competition in October. This year, the winning entry was Super Trooper by ABBA, although they didn't sing it, it was Oakley. 100 pupils competed in the house ensemble and solo competitions. Jazz and popular music is continuing to go from strength to strength, with 2 cabaret-style evenings in Routh Hall, an excellent Cultures Connect event with performances from across the globe, as well as the pupil-led sustainability concert. The big band is exceptional, and you'll be able to hear them this afternoon on Gordon Green, and they'll also be performing at the Upton Jazz Festival tomorrow. And then, of course, many Bromsgrovians have taken advantage of the huge range of sporting opportunities again this year. And there are so many. In athletics, both the boys and girls teams won the Midlands final to qualify for the national finals in Stoke next week. In badminton, the junior teams entered the new national competition and the boys team progressed to the second round. The senior boys and girls teams won the district competitions. In basketball, the under-15 YBL team reached the league final, while the under-17s reached the semi-finals. Both the under-16 and under-18 teams reached the quarter-finals of the National Cup, and the under-14 team won the Worcestershire County Cup. It's been a very successful year of cricket, with the girls' programme continuing to develop well, with regular successful fixtures. Indeed, a girls' match is being played on the first 11 pitch at this very moment. The under-15 boys team reached the National Cup semi-final, and as county champions, the under-14s have qualified for the national rounds. All the cross-country teams qualified for the regional final of the ESAA Cross Country Cup, with the intermediate boys reaching the national final. 14 school pupils managed to qualify for the English Schools Championships. A number of pupils are competing at a very high level in various equestrian events, and several qualified for the Horse of the Year show. Fencing continues to grow, and Bromsgrove fencers came 10th in the Public Schools Championships. In football, the senior boys team enjoyed a successful season, progressing in the National Cup and reaching the semi-final of the County Cup. Girls' football continues to go from strength to strength too. With even more girls playing, the senior team only lost once. The HG Trophy is the Independent Schools Golf Association's premier one-day competition. 27 schools and nearly 100 golfers competed recently, and Bromsgrove won the team prize. One pupil gained the top score of the day to win the individual gross trophy, bringing a very pleasing end to another very successful golfing year. The Green Power race teams took part in 4 races, with the seniors finishing the international final in 3rd place and the juniors in 5th. 28 hockey teams have played 457 games, with 448 boys and girls representing the school. The boys' first 11 reached the Midlands final for the 2nd year running. The girls' first 11 reached the last 16 of both the England Hockey and Independent School Plates. The girls' under-14s also reached the last 16 of the England Hockey Cup. Netball really is quite special too. The under-14 team finished joint 8th in the English Schools National Netball Finals. The under-15s were national finalists in both the Independent Schools competition and the Sports Magazine competition. The first team came 4th in the Sisters in Sport national competition and joint 6th in the English Schools National Netball Finals. Almost 250 boys played rugby this year. There were many team successes, but the first 15 had a particularly excellent season, winning all 11 of their regular school fixtures. The team continued their impressive form into the newly branded Continental Tires National Cup, with several closely fought victories leading up to the semi-final, pitted against a similarly unbeaten Kirkham Grammar School. In a hard-fought match, supported by over 200 of their peers, the boys lost out narrowly 14-19. But then, last term, after an excellent season of 7s, the first 7 competed against the best 64 teams in the country at Rosslyn Park, where they were placed in the last 4. Squash is developing well once again, and the under-16 team progressed through to the National Plate final. Amongst the various swimming successes, in the English Schools Swimming National Finals, Bath and Otter swimming relays, the girls finished 7th, and the boys' teams came 24th out of 85 schools. In table tennis, 2 pupils qualified for the national final. There were 3 teams that qualified for the team regional finals, as well as the boys and girls teams enjoying a variety of successful friendly fixtures. And the volleyball teams also had another positive year, with further growth in the number of fixtures and players. Both boys and girls teams competed in the National Grand Prix Series. In summary, Bromsgrove is ranked in the top 10 UK schools for sport. This year, there have been 1,841 fixtures, 305 teams with 18 different codes. Some of you may have heard of Edward Thring, the innovative Victorian headmaster who believed education must involve every aspect of life: moral, spiritual, physical and intellectual well-being, what you might call the all-round education. Thring believed that every child should feel success in one area or another. Success through the co-curricular, he said, reinforced what happened in the classroom and vice versa. If he was with us today, Edward Thring would be 202. But I suspect he would be very pleased with the breadth and the depth of the Bromsgrove programme, and he would admire the individual who spent most of his career developing some of the opportunities we've just heard about. The purpose of it all is to enable young people to develop talents and interests and to feel success and joy. Mr. Paul Mullen has been the special someone who has been the driving force behind much of it for the last 27 years. He's worked tirelessly to develop an offering to pupils that is the envy of most schools. Along the way, he and Mrs. Mullen has been a dedicated and caring house parent, a talented and kind colleague who has given unstintingly of his time to Bromsgrove. For Mr. Mullen, the time has now come to begin a long and well-deserved retirement, and although he will not enjoy being in the limelight at this very moment, it is only right that we thank you, Mr. Mullen, for everything you have done so well, making such a difference to so many pupils. A few minutes ago, I thanked pupils and staff, but I also want to thank governors who work so hard to support the school. And then, of course, parents, for all your support of your children and the school, and for the considerable sacrifices which you make to enable them to have these opportunities. We never take that for granted. And I should add how much we appreciate the work of the PAs, both in terms of all that you do and the feedback you provide. And finally, a few words for our departing upper sixth leavers, the young people sat in front of me looking so smart and of whom we are so proud. You are poised to go off to a host of highly selective universities, some in the UK, some abroad. Some of you have offers of degree-level apprenticeships, and a small number are taking a planned gap year. But over the years leading up to this point, these folk have made an immensely positive impact on the school, both because of all that they have done and also because of the tone that they've set. So, members of the upper sixth, some of you have been with us for 2 years, others for almost your entire lives, and therefore today should be a special juncture which you will remember. During your time at Bromsgrove, you will, I hope, have created a host of memories, friendships, interest, and developed talents. You'll be able to recall achievements in and out of the classroom of which you're particularly proud, and there occasionally will have been challenges. Looking to the future, face your new adventures with optimism. As we were told in church, swim into the deep water. As you know by now, challenges will come our way. Learn from setbacks, adapt, but keep moving forwards, because you can use your skills and talents to make the world better. You may have heard of the African proverb, if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. So catch the people, again as we were told this morning, catch the people who are around you. Look after yourselves and look after each other. Stay safe and use your newfound freedom well. Stay true to the values that you've developed here, but also the values you've developed with your families. And as Einstein suggested, we shouldn't set out to be a person of success. Rather, we should set out to be a person of value. Above all, whilst you may no longer be Bromsgrove pupils, you will always be Bromsgrovians, and we will always be pleased to see you. So please stay in touch with us. The very best of luck to all of you, and thank you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the Wattel Prizes. The Wattel Prize for English goes to Dimitri Molkanov, and for History to Thomas Astor, for Religious Studies and Art to Malabi Chine. Well done. The prize for German goes to Catherine Sutherland, for Geography to Amelia Barnes, and for Mathematics to Arena Macarena. The prize for Business Studies goes to Owais Iqbal, for Physical Education to Ralphie Drake, and to Politics to Felix Roeder. The prize for Spanish goes to Charles Wasley, for Computer Science to George Hastings, and for Art Textiles to Emma Dunniker. The prize for Physics goes to Jordan Markovich, for Latin to Bowen Chung, and the prizes for Economics and the Alison Bramley Memorial Prize for Mathematics goes to Nikolai Kovalikin. And now we come to the other academic prizes. The William Ledbrook Prize for Biology goes to Casey Wong. The Chater Pepper Prize for Classics goes to Rufus Parker. And the Amphlett Prize for Chemistry goes to Richard Huang. The Turner Memorial Prize for Music goes to Gabriel Brown. The Philip Denham Cooks Prize for Drama to Emily Johnston. The John Headley Memorial Prize goes to Cadet Warrant Officer Jack Friend. The Geoffrey Lewins Prize for Design and Technology goes to Min Satithamajit. The Houseman Verse Prize goes to Marnaby Limbu. And the Staff Reading Prize goes to Ilaria Olua Odugbesan. Well done. Now we come to the special prizes. The prizes for senior boarders go to Nikolai Kovalikin and Caroline Roos. Prizes for the Deputy Head Boy and Deputy Head Girl go to George Hastings and Amelia Barnes. And the prizes for this year's Head Boy and Head Girl go to Finbar Dinnan and Ariana Okimuo. Tony Limbert was a pupil who fully embraced the sporting opportunities here at Bromsgrove. And this trophy, dedicated to his memory, is awarded to someone who has strived to do the same thing during their time here. Throughout their time in the senior school, this pupil has embraced every aspect of sporting life. Committed to training and competition, their hard work and natural talent has meant that they've represented the school in 173 fixtures over the past 5 years across many sports. They're very unassuming, and their commitment and attitude has been second to none. They always give 100%, regardless of the task ahead, and they've demonstrated excellent sportsmanship on and off the field. They turn up to every training session and match with a smile on their face. Whether on the Astro, the netball court or tennis court, she has demonstrated physical prowess, determination and endeavour to help lead teams to county, regional and national success. Personally, she's been awarded the Triple Cap Shield, and along with her tremendous teamwork, she's exhibited great leadership skills, exemplified by her outstanding achievements as the hockey captain and netball vice captain. This year's winner of the Tony Limbert Award is Amelia Moberly. The Paul Sawtell Trophy winner this year is arguably an example of what every student at Bromsgrove School should aspire to be. Their contributions have been immense academically, as an ambassador, and in terms of participation. They've represented the first 15 rugby team, the first 11 hockey team, and the sevens rugby teams. They've participated in athletics fixtures and taken part in every possible house event. Despite numerous commitments, this individual remains true to themselves. They're a community-minded soul and a great people person, willing to give up their time for a cause. They're equally comfortable greeting a VIP or sharing a joke with the lower fourth formers. Teachers value their positive attitude, outstanding academic progress, and their contributions in the classroom, whilst peers respect their knowledge on a plethora of topics. As a slick debater, this individual displays a natural knack for leadership. His forthcoming studies in history and economics at Oxford University are fitting for a young man who will undoubtedly make a significant impact on the world. He's a trustworthy and popular friend to many, and as head of school, his contributions have been countless. Congratulations for embodying the very best of what Bromsgrove School strives to achieve and earning this well-deserved award. The Paul Sawtell Trophy is awarded to Finbar Dinnan. The Ben Showell Award goes to someone who has shown excellent commitment to music and drama throughout their time at Bromsgrove School. A scholar of drama, this student has been seen many times on the concert platform, singing solo, or appearing with the jazz band, or conducting their house choir. They've been a mentor to others, and it's also clear that they've been on a significant journey themselves since joining the school 5 years ago. Passionate about performing in general and about musical theatre in particular, this person has struggled at times with a lack of confidence, so it's been a delight to watch them truly blossom in the last 18 months. As an actor, they've tackled a number of very varied roles, from the Cockney bag lady in Pinter's absurdist comedy The Last to Go, through the equally hilarious starstruck young housemaid in the Hampstead Murder Mystery, to her desperately moving performance as the bereaved mother of Hamnet at the last Drama Scholars' Evening. Eclipsing all of those appearances, however, was her Anita in West Side Story last December. From her impressive range and glorious dark singing tones to the utter conviction of her acting, particularly in her final horrifying scene, both racially and physically assaulted by members of the Jet Gang, she gave an amazing performance that would not have been out of place on the West End stage. Those who witnessed it were very lucky indeed. A very popular winner of the Senior House Drama Performing Arts Award last March, this year's Ben Showell Performing Arts Trophy goes to the unforgettable Olivia Garrett. Kelly Bicknell Award goes to a student who has genuinely been outstanding in terms of their contribution to the life of the Bromsgrove School community. Throughout their career, this student has shown a commitment to community that has gone well above and beyond what is expected. They're humble, well-rounded, enthusiastic, and above all, dedicated to several areas of school life. In each of those aspects, they've looked to engage and develop their own interests and talents, but have in the process ended up encouraging others to enjoy their own participation in such activities. This student is a strong academic in their own right, with a sharp mind and a sharper wit. They thrive on testing their mettle against similarly focused individuals in class, but relish expanding their own understanding through such discourse. Such determination has seen them achieving one of the highest UCAT scores in the country, while in extension activities, the only way to follow their highly commendable lower sixth form silver award was to gain a gold award the following year in the National Chemistry Olympiad. As Vice President of the school's Med Vet Dentist Society, they've used their own enthusiasm for pursuing a career in this field to encourage and support like-minded peers through the application process, as well as sharing advice to younger pupils exploring similar options. In performing arts, they've been a regular contributor to music and drama at both house and school level, particularly enjoying musical ensemble work, even to the extent of taking on the responsibility for rehearsing and conducting their house song competition entry, always an exercise in patience, consideration and perseverance when encouraging and balancing the musical strengths with the odd weakness and some excitement of a large chorus. Likewise, they've relished many opportunities to take to the stage in school productions, but also in house drama competitions, with awards in the fifth and lower sixth forms, and as house drama rep in their upper sixth form, always leading by example. That sense of service has also transferred into a prominent role in the school's combined cadet force as one of the pupil NCOs in the RAF section, developing their own leadership and interpersonal skills while encouraging teamwork and participation in younger pupils who've reacted well to her enthusiasm and interest in their progress. And not surprisingly, such a character appeals to both young and old, proven by their volunteering at a local residential home with a winning mix of helpful commitment, genuine care and human compassion within the local community. This student can reflect on an outstanding school career in which she has stretched herself by making the most of so many opportunities. She's much to offer individually, but along the way, she's enriched the experience of many others within the community to which she has contributed so much in so many ways. This year's Kelly Bicknell Award goes to Surisha Sunna. Predicted to achieve sevens, so that the highest score in all 6 of her IB subjects, the winner of the Elite Academic Award is an outstandingly talented social scientist. Seeing how a society's learned helplessness can allow a democracy to drift to dictatorship, she has read and thought deeply. She's immersed herself in the works of Isaiah Berlin through to Zuborovich, from Plato to Popper. Qualifying for the All-Russian Economics Olympiad finals and the Moscow economics team, her interests have consistently returned to where the separate worlds of economic and political theory and philosophy intersect. For example, her entry into the R.A. Butler Essay Prize suggested that deglobalization is the consequence of the inequality seen in democratic capitalism. Isolationism and national populism reflect the socio-economic weakness in liberal democracy. She is outstanding in class, and like all the very best students, She combines this with a humility and eagerness to improve that has enabled her to scale new academic heights. Having been introduced to a new topic, the next day she'll return armed with an in-depth knowledge and follow-up questions. Her willingness to reflect on and play off the ideas of others pushes forward understanding and works for the benefit of all. She learns for the enjoyment of learning and finds all topics worthy of interest interesting. She's looking forward to continuing her exploration of the world of politics, philosophy and economics at Balliol College, Oxford. The winner of the Houseman Trophy is Arena Macarena. The Cook's Prize is awarded each year to a student who's had an outstanding school career, making significant contributions across various areas while maintaining an exemplary academic profile. This year's recipient epitomises those qualities and more. From the moment they join the senior school, they've distinguished themselves as a remarkable individual whose talents span a wide range of disciplines. Academically, their performance has been nothing short of stellar. Their intellectual curiosity and determination have earned top results in various competitions, including the UKMT Senior Maths Challenge. They also recently excelled in the Babrus Challenge, a national computational thinking competition, where their score placed them in the top 10% of entries. They're also a multi-talented individual whose contributions to the school community are extensive. In sport, they've excelled as a key player in the first 15 and first 7 rugby teams, demonstrating versatility and leadership. Their commitment to physical excellence is further evidenced by achievements in swimming and athletics, consistently setting high standards and inspiring their peers. In addition to sport, this student is a talented musician and actor. As an integral member of the school choir, solo performances have been noteworthy. But musical talents extend to the saxophone and piano, both played with great skill and passion. They've not only performed in solo and ensemble settings, but have also encouraged younger students to develop their musical talents. Their fond renditions of Billy Joel classics, such as Piano Man, have left lasting impressions during house and school events. Theatrical contributions are equally impressive, with a stand-up performance in the school production of Guys and Dolls, bringing the character of Arvide Abernathy to life with flair and dedication. But what truly sets this student apart is their character. Despite numerous achievements, humility, approachability, and a willingness to support others remain constant. Teachers and peers alike praise maturity, integrity, and infectious enthusiasm. The ability somehow to balance numerous commitments while maintaining high standards in all areas is a testament to an extraordinary work ethic and resilience. Reflecting on their journey from the prep school through to the upper sixth, it's clear that this individual has not only excelled academically, but has also left an indelible mark on our community. As Deputy Head of School, they've been a source of wisdom and support, providing insightful contributions during weekly meetings and setting a positive example for peers. It's with immense pride and admiration that we award this year's Cook's Prize to George Hastings.
I feel like I've just done a stint as Father Christmas. It's been rather nice, I have to say. Well, good afternoon, everyone. And first, may I say just how fabulous, proud and happy you are all looking. And why not? Today is a day of colour, for elan, for smiles and for celebration. It is a day for reflection too, on treasured memories of shared past experiences and on the potential for new beginnings, new adventures and opportunities to come. The world has changed again, and we move on. Very many congratulations to all of you who today have won a prize. You can be rightly proud of what your prize represents, a truly singular achievement. But my congratulations go out too to all of you in your final moments at Bromsgrove School. Education is not really about how much you learn. It is much more about what you become in the process of learning. Throughout your time here, each of you would have had many personal highlights and equally many difficult challenges to overcome. Each one will have left its trace and shaped you into the person you are today. In commemoration, we're celebrating that person. Maybe not marked by silver, but certainly marked by the pride, support, and belief in your potential of your families, your teachers, and friends. Please let us take a moment to congratulate loudly all our Bromsgrove leavers. There is a common saying that school days are the best days of our lives. How depressing is that? And it's just not true. Believe it or not, it is not all over for you. Quite the reverse. There is lots of joy and excitement yet to come. You have your own lives ahead of you now. That this school, your parents, and your teachers have prepared you to forge with new friends, exciting careers, different experiences, travel, love, marriage, children, and where's my daughter? Perhaps grandchildren. Let me be clear, however. I am not saying it will be easy, that the world is your oyster and everything is a breeze. There will be difficulties ahead. Mistakes will be made. Challenges will be there to be overcome. But Bromsgrove has prepared you all as citizens that can stand in Roosevelt's arena. Not as cold and timid souls, but marred in dust and sweat, always prepared to strive valiantly and dare greatly to experience the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, and know the worthy causes. I hope that each of you will continue to build upon this person that you have become and make a positive difference in a world that has a great need for people like you. I now have a simple task. As Chair of Governors, they're the only tasks I'm able to perform. It is to celebrate and to give thanks to all of those who this year and over the years have given of themselves in service to this school and its wider ideals and values. If you are seeking for a visible monument of all the school stands for and encompasses, look around you. Today, the school is shining in its Sunday best. Combed lawns, bright trees and flowers, snow-white marquees, polished glass, bright cutlery, crisp tablecloths, and wonderful spreads. This does not happen by accident. There are a host of support personnel who today especially, but more importantly, day in and day out, make it their business to deliver for the school and your children. They are the reason we can take such pride in the school's appearance and that we have such a high standard of facilities and service here. Many of them will be working hard while we are celebrating in here. When you see them, please do pass on your thanks for all they do behind the scenes. You will make their day. Then there are those whose privilege it is to educate. To them, the joys and achievements of spreading knowledge and teaching values that will literally last a lifetime. But they are due our thanks too, not just for the obvious passion and creativity with which they discharge their responsibilities, but also for the loving care, kindness, and attention that they focus on your children. Theirs is a true vocation, a calling to make the world a better place by unlocking the talents and gifts of each of the children in their care. As you know, this high vocation has been recognised by the highest possible scores in our ISI inspection, both across the educational and in pastoral categories. To be clear, never a given and hardly won. Tested on one day, this outcome, like trust, can only be achieved by long-term commitment, graft and inspiration. We are truly grateful that we have such high quality and committed staff. Often unsung and unseen heroes, so too should we express our deep gratitude to the executive and senior management teams of the school for safely steering the ship throughout the year and now into the safe harbour of Commemoration. And especially to our own special headmaster, Michael Punt. We welcomed him to the school only last year, and already his exceptional leadership, motivational outlook, and firm direction have made a real impact on our culture and ethos. It can be a lonely and responsible job to be a leader, and yet, notwithstanding the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune and the onrushing sea of troubles, they all wear their responsibilities lightly and set the tone and establish the values that ensure the school develops well-rounded and responsible citizens. To those of them that are leaving us this term after long and faithful service, this is a legacy of which they can be hugely proud. There's also a cadre of people whom you might not see that often, but who behind the scenes are working many hours for the school for no reward other than to see it survive and thrive. They are our governors and foundation trustees. A rum lot, a motley crew of educators, accountants, lawyers, brokers, business owners, medics, soldiers, regulators, surveyors, and third sector leaders. Their combined skills and experiences, forged in many diverse and challenging markets and circumstances, create a wellspring of wisdom from which our school continually benefits, creating the environment and delivering the support and challenge that ensures the school can both afford and deliver on important infrastructure and improvement projects, and secures outstanding independent reports for its pupil safeguarding and commitment to well-being. Through good strategic governance too, they ensure that all parts of the school are treated fairly and receive investment when needed, and are prepared to respond also to changing trends, particularly in the fields of digital and artificial intelligence and sustainability. On this team too sit the challenges that are likely to face all four of our schools with a changing political climate, and you can be confident that their abilities have already risen and will continue to rise to them. Our gratitude is very much due to our President, our Chair of Foundation, the Foundation trustees, and all my fellow school governors for all their wisdom, commitment, and service. I would like to say thank you too to all of you, our families. We never take your interest or support for granted. We understand the sacred duty that we undertake in looking after and teaching your children, and we thank you for your faith and trust in us that you demonstrate by choosing to send your children here. We especially thank all those additionally involved in the House Parents Associations and all those who support their work and events for your extra commitment to making the difference. Finally, we thank your children for every day taking part and giving of themselves with energy and enthusiasm to the daily opportunities and challenges of school life. It is the breadth of opportunities here in learning, art, music, drama and sport, and your child's engagement with them that teaches them how to make choices, juggle priorities, and solve different kinds of problems. As the upper sixth head out into the world, they will take with them all that they have invested into this school with interest, and we wish them every success in all they do as proud Bromsgrovians. Floreat Bromsgrovia, let Bromsgrove flourish. And that just leaves me to wish you all a wonderful and well-earned summer break. To the pupils and leavers, for the creation of many wonderful summertime memories. To all you parents, for precious time never to be regained, spent with your loved ones at rest and recreation. And for all those at school, for a time to recharge your batteries and get a little bit of me time. September is 9 long, fabulous weeks away. Make the most of it. Thank you.